What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is the first ever Scary as Fuck podcast. It's lit. We want to do it on Facebook Live to go crazy with it. Let me go ahead and add my boy in here so we can go ahead and get it popping. All right. So it's about to be lit. Put my little bifocals on because it's about to go crazy. So this is the first episode, Scary as Fuck podcast. And it's about to be lit. All right. We're going to be talking about the Greek gods. Everything on this podcast is haunted. Everything on this podcast is about scary stuff, entertainment, and just stuff in general, man. We're gonna really, really be lit. So let me go ahead and get him on here, and then we'll be ready to rock out. All right, we're back. So this is the first ever Scary as Fuck podcast. I'm your host, the Horror King, and my boy Brandon Oakley about to join. And we're going to get it popping. So if you like scary stuff, if you like talking about the supernatural, if you like just talking about stuff in general, then you're going to love this right here. We will be doing some episodes on Facebook, but most of it will be like professional streaming. But I wanted to have everybody interact, and I want it to, be something that people would like to see. So it's about to get crazy. So a lot of you guys are familiar with the Greek gods. Some of you guys are familiar with that. But some of you guys are familiar with that. So we're going to share this broadcast. Let's see. There we go. There we go. What's up? What's up? What's up? He's joining.
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me.
What's up? Turn your camera on.
Oh, hold on.
All right. It don't get no more authentic than this. Let's go. All right, so guys, this is the first ever video of the Scary as Fuck podcast, and we're going to be getting to it, man. So this is authentic, raw. So my name is Romeo Pugh, the Horror King, and you are
Brandon Oakley.
Yes, sir. So he's part owner of the Scary as Fuck podcast, my bro. You know what I'm saying? He's a hell of an actor and also friend too. That's my guy. So today we're talking about the Greek gods, man. Like the Greek gods, bro. Like what's up?
Well, man, it all started after an accident involving black magic.
Yep.
And well, I had to get some help in getting some bad stuff removed from me. Well, this practitioner that I went to uses the power of Hecate. Now, I didn't know what Hecate was at first.
I call her Hecate. I don't know. I always miss her name when I say it. I call her Hecate.
Honestly, man, I've heard people say it differently. Hecate. I just Hecate. That's just best for me.
Hecate, for anybody that don't know, if you ever watch TV series Sabrina on Netflix, they actually worship the goddess Hecate. They put it right there in your face. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
And so before we dive in, we want to talk about the Greeks. The Greeks, Zeus. That's the 12 Olympian gods. But the big three is Zeus, Poseidon, Hades. Now, before we let Brandon continue, now Brandon, as you know, a lot of people think the Greek gods are demons. They think they're fallen angels. They think they're just something that's not supposed to be mentioned. So now my question to you is that you know about the Greeks. We know about the Greeks. So my question to you is that let's dive in. So tell me, how did the Greeks start it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Where did it come from? Then, I'll elaborate on it too.
Okay. All right. Well, as you know, it originates with chaos,
Yep.
the entity chaos. And from chaos was born Gaia, Erebus, and Nyx.
Yep.
Okay. The communion with Erebus and Nyx gave rise to the lower primordials. And then from them came the Titans.
Yep.
And then from the Titans came the Olympian gods, such as Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades.
Yep.
Well, the Olympian gods, they revolted against the Titans, as you know.
Oh yeah,
Kronos
hell,
being,
bloody, it was a bloody war. Zeus was like, you know
yeah,
what? He like, you
it
know what?
was terrible war.
He go like, you gonna swallow my brothers and sisters? I'ma f you up. I'm coming out. So he was hitting literally by his mother. And the crazy thing about it is that not only was he hitting, but Cronus was swallowing shit like this. Like I'm like, damn. I'm like this dude was literally trying to dodge fate. And I hate to say it, but nah, fuck that. I ain't hate to say this. Gaia really is the instigator. I'm like, bro, like how do you get mad at your son for ruling that you're trying to get your grandson to overthrow him? It's crazy. It's
It's
crazy.
nuts, man.
And with the Titans, I will say though, if you do read and study up, the Titans said that Kronos did have the golden age of man. There were no wars. It was just everything that's on there. But my question was like, if Kronos was sitting on his throne, chilling, like eating grapes, like y'all on Olympus, like eating grapes and shit. I always say, like, when I get rich, I'm gonna start drinking wine and eating grapes like the Dionysus. And so, but my thing is that Gaia really is the instigator of all this stuff. What's your thoughts on that?
Uh,
Because
um,
she literally birthed Typhoon. Like, that shit's crazy.
well, I mean, of course, she's the instigator in all of it. I mean, she's the creator of all of it. She started it all
Yeah.
after chaos.
She did. But I will say though, so match this right here. So when people talk about the Greek gods and the fallen angels and stuff like that, now we're getting into theology where it's Christian theology versus Hellenistic behavior, right? So I'm going to elaborate on it, and I want you to take it. I'll take my glasses off for this one. So the reason why people think that Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Aphrodite, Apollo, Artemis, Ares, Dionysus, and Hera, it just goes on, because people don't understand that the Greeks came before the Bible. I'm a Christian myself, right? We know that. God is named Yahweh, right? He created
Right.
everything, right? Everything flows through him. He was in the Canaanite version, Yahweh, right? El is his father. We get that. So
Yeah.
people don't understand that the Greek gods didn't come from anywhere. They think the fallen angels were the Greek gods, but I'm like, we talk about this, and I tell them, how can the fallen angels be the Greek gods when it says in the Bible, if you're going by the Bible, right, the Christian Bible, it says that Gabriel was sent down and Michael was sent down to actually punish them because they had sex with women. It was like, you know what? I see them pretty things over there. I'm about to go ahead and just, do my thing with it. You know what I'm saying? And so they was doing that. Oh, what's up, Jonathan? How you doing, man? We live on here. But anyway, so they see them, up in heaven, and then they come down, they show magic. Azazel, he was one of the watchers. He's one of the leaders. He showed them magic and all that. So they popping out these ugly ass babies and stuff, and now these giants consume the food. They consume everything, right? So you got man Christ, people like, um, um, I don't know what you decided to do, but these motherfuckers eating up my cattle. So it's like they talking to God like, yo, we need you to put a hit on these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. They come down and have kids. Now, okay, boom. The giants come. The giants are like the man of old, right? Renowned of old. So they're like, okay, cool. Well, when they see Zeus and they see Poseidon and they see Hades, they think, oh shit, well, this must be like the angels and everything. But no, 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 no. Because Zeus cannot be a fallen angel or he cannot be Lucifer or the devil because Zeus been popping hella women. He's been having hella kids. So it says if Lucifer has a kid, it's going to be the Antichrist, right? Well, I think
Right.
Zeus done got over 100 some kids. So none of them. And then when the angels were in shackles watching their kids get killed by the flood and all that other stuff, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades were still running rampant. So my question to you is, how is that possible? They're supposed to be angels, fallen angels, the watchers.
Um, okay, well, I have a theory. I mean, it's
Let's hear it.
sort of it's a complex theory, but well, it's one of two things. either the other pagan gods, be it Greek, Egyptian, Nordic, were just another generation and sect of Watcher, or they were something like the Aeons, as the Gnostics described, which were lesser celestial godlike beings under the one God, which was Yahweh.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's one of the two. And as we all know with common sense, the Nephilim were the demigods. A lot of them were. Hercules, Perseus, even Goliath himself was descended from a Nephilim.
Yeah, that's true. So, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I
So,
lost you a bit. Yeah.
yeah, I was trying to invite people in. I mean, it's the first episode. It's bound to happen. So, sometimes we're gonna do episodes on here. Sometimes we're gonna do like that. But Hercules definitely was a Nephilim. So, my question to you is that if from what I've read, some of these guys are archons. Now, you know a lot about archons.
Yeah.
You know what that is. So, with the archons and everything, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, you see, here's the thing, and I struggle with this every day on that subject. I'm trying to find the gray area that connects Gnosticism with the Old Testament, such as the Book of Enoch. And I keep getting lost as far as, are the archons in fact demonic figures, or are they the Watchers themselves? So
I can answer that. So, archons are not demonic figures. It's not watchers. I'm gonna tell you why. Very simple. The demons, if you go by the Bible, are the spirits of the Nephilim, right?
mhm,
But also, when Lucifer fell, he took one third of the heaven down. He was like, you know
mhm.
what? I'm going to raise my crown up on you, Yahweh. You ain't shit you can do about it. Yahweh said, okay, bet, Michael, get his ass. That's what happened. So he sucked the older brother on him. But he took one third. So now people don't know that there's seven princes of hell, seven kings of hell.
Mhm.
So the archons can't be the Watchers or Lucifer's team because they literally were there before creation. All right.
Well,
We're
oh
talking
wait
about
a minute.
chaos. We're talking about chaos. Chaos now. I'm talking about that's where they come from.
Yeah, and I think there is a link between Chaos and Yaldabaoth, the demiurge.
Yeah. That so or or if you want to go off love PH craft, the older ones are not a part of Yahweh or chaos. They were there before something else. So and I think for me the Greek gods, because when you look out through history, Zeus has never really opposed Yahweh until he trusted Lucifer, and he realized how much of a bitch Lucifer was, right? So he's
Mm.
like a spoiled little brat. But they put everything in your face in one of my favorite shows of all time, Supernatural. They tell you everything about what's going on. So I think that when you have Zeus and you line him up with Lucifer, it doesn't match up. Now, what have the Greeks done that has made them amazing? They changed literature, they changed artwork. I mean, hell, most of the companies that we see are after Greek. Nike, that's named after the goddess of victory, right? She was right
Oh
there
yeah.
with Zeus after all the victories, right? You got literally Hermes, right? Hermes. My travel company is named Hermes Adventures. That's the god of speed, message of the gods, right? So you got Hermes, which is a designer brand, and so you got all these other companies that's named after the Greeks. So the real question is, did the Greeks ever go away, or is Zeus in the background like, yes, feel me, my worship, yes, yes. so
I
that
mean, honestly, I don't think the pagan gods ever went away.
mhm.
I think they, for whatever reason, for a period of time, went into hiding, or they just went into some sort of hibernation status. But now I've noticed that they have made a return and everywhere. In fact, there are a few countries in Europe right now that are abandoning Christianity in favor of praising Odin.
Well, Odin, that's topic for another day. But I will say Odin doesn't
Yeah.
like Yahweh. He's been fighting Christians since forever, and that's why people think that it's demonic. But Odin is not Lucifer. They're nowhere near close. They're
No,
not.
no.
He's a real deity. I know because I have experience with him. So for me, the reason why people say, "Oh, well, he's the devil," and all, like, because people are so scared to know what's out there. Now, my favorite Greek god, that I do love is Poseidon. You know what I'm saying? King Neptune. And for me, Poseidon should be stronger than Zeus, but in ways he's more powerful. So my question would be, if the Greeks were not the fallen angels, they were not archons, why did Yahweh allow them to exist and rule?
I've asked myself this many times. I'm thinking it had something to do with this gap between Genesis and the creation of the earth.
Yep, I think so too.
There's this gap there that there's not a lot of information on, but they had something to do with maintaining the serenity of the earth itself, or they were just establishing copies of their realms on the earth. For what purpose, I don't really know.
All that is right, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. So this is the truth, guys. If you're watching this is where the Greek gods come from. The Greek gods come from two places: chaos, and it comes from the god Ashera. Ashera, if you don't know, if you look it up, type in Google. Ashera is the wife of Yahweh. You know this, Brandon. You know I know this. You know
Oh
this.
yeah,
So she's a real goddess. The Pope, the Catholic Church took everything out. They didn't want you to know about everything. So Ashera created the Mother Earth, Gaia, and basically like how Yahweh created the angels as his like henchmen, she created the Greek gods as a henchman. That is a very real theological like reference to that. Because in the Bible, she is in the Ethiopian Bible. That's facts. Stop making up something. And so they took it out because they didn't want women to have empowerment. And so for me personally, um, Zeus, Poseidon, them came from her, and then next thing you know, Gaia, because they serve her. Now the question would be is that why is it she no longer with Yahweh, or is she with Yahweh? Because if you look in a TV show called Lucifer, they tell you that God has a wife. They tell you that, and it's in the Ethiopian Bible. And then the Canaanite
Mhm.
religion, El was the one that had all the kids. So my question would be, did Yahweh take over his father's throne, which he did, and then he wiped with Asherah. So that's where they came from. Now, Zeus wants to kill Lucifer. You ask, how do you know this? I read a lot of demonology books. I read a lot of you know the Hekasi, the Bible, the Ethiopia Bible. I read the Wicca Bible. So Zeus wanted to kill Lucifer, and he was on Lucifer's side at first because he wanted to rule. And is he part angel? No. They are able to rule within their realm and also on earth. But the reason why he was able to rule because Yahweh wanted he picked Israel to be like, hey, I'm the true God. They're a God. It's because and it tells you I'm going to punish the gods of Egypt. The Bible is very clear. It tells you what's a god and what's not a god. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Mhm.
but Zeus is still worshipped today. I mean, hell, I even worship Zeus, and I'm a Christian. I acknowledge him. I'm Egyptian and Creole. It is what it is. But I never put them above Jesus. So my question would be for you is that if we know that Zeus is real, he's not no energy or people like to say the universe, that dumb shit. He's a real live entity. Do you think Zeus will be able to rule man again and will allow Yahweh allow it?
That's hard to say. And being one that actually has made contact with Zeus at one time,
Hmm.
it never occurred to me to ask him that. Because you know who I am connected to right now on
Yeah,
that, you know.
definitely.
And if I want answers, I can go to them, assuming that they feel I'm ready to receive that answer, of course.
Yep.
Um, I don't know, man. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's one
But
of them damn head scratchers. You like, what the world? Like, what's going on here? And I will say the Greek gods are very powerful because when you look at the only two religions I think that probably can top them in power is My Heritage Egyptians. The Egyptian is very powerful.
Oh yeah.
They was able to stand up to Yahweh for like a long time until he just said, you know what, fuck this shit. But and also I found out one of the religions that I myself that I found out my great great grandfather was from England is the Celtic religion. I have a strong connection to Danu, and I even put it on my posts, and also the Morgan too. My movie Mother Abbess is about her. It's crazy. But,
Morrigan.
yep, the Morgan, the goddess of war and death.
I spoke to her one time too.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's badass, and you have a
She is.
connection. You have a connection that some people will find scary about the supernatural, but I would say that Zeus is responsible for a lot of kids. Hell, he even made King Lycan a werewolf. So that's where some of the werewolves come from, and even if you look at like the Greek gods are not like they're not perfect. They're flawed like human, and
Exactly.
that's why some people may think they're I guess fallen angels. But when you look at it though, you look at it from that perspective, you got to understand that like bruh, they were put here to rule. So of course they're going to make sure their worship gives them power. So they're not going to act all godly. So my thing is that people be like, oh well, they're just mythology. Well, the Bible is mythology. If you say that, you feel me? But I always tell people, I said you will see supernatural shit before you see like the good stuff. And Zeus, I think the Greek gods are coming back, man. And they're already back in front of our face. I mean, hell, you go to Vegas, you see a statue of Zeus on the casino. You know,
Well, I mean, it's not just the Greek gods, the Egyptian god. It's every pagan god worldwide from every culture is making a comeback
you know,
worldwide.
As it say in the Bible, it will be as in the old days. But the thing is though, what side do you choose? I mean, I'm Christ, but I rock with the Egyptians. You know, so with me, I do love Zeus. One of my favorite goddesses is Persephone. I actually seen Persephone and her mother when they was doing like a seance and shit. It was crazy. I was like, oh, okay, what's up? So I think for me, the Greek gods are uh, archons of literature, especially science. And my thing would be Zeus is one of those features. Even I mean, hell, they got a Zeus network. You know, I seen a TikTok video of where they were literally saying they don't want Zeus network to have that name because they're trying to say Zeus is demonic. That was coming from the Greeks. So he's not. And I think a lot of these celebrities they try to make the
It's funny that you bring that up because I keep running into this crap on YouTube where, oh, if it doesn't come straight from the Bible, it's automatically demonic, and I'm like, no, it's not. That's
facts,
not true at all.
facts.
And I get into some of the nastiest arguments with people about it. Just like magic and sorcery. That
Look, yeah, that's facts. That I'm glad you mentioned that. Magic and sorcery was alive, like that. Humans, magic, sorcery, science, all that was combined together when the Greeks were living, and it was natural to go to a herbalist to get a potion for a sickness.
exactly, and a lot of people don't understand this. Almost every aspect of our life is due to the teachings by the Watchers. The Watchers taught us ingenuity. They taught us alchemy, science, astronomy, mathematics. Before they are responsible for our intellectual evolution.
Yep, that's
And
true. That's true.
and now, I mean, granted, they taught magic also, but still everything else. I mean, so basically, the Christian and the Muslim communities they just need to shut up about that demonic stuff.
Yeah, and like I said, we respect all religions. I'm
Yeah,
gonna keep it myself, but I step outside the Bible. Like I pray every day.
yeah, I
I
agree.
pray, I pray to Jesus, aka Yahshua. That's his real name, Yeshua.
Yeah,
Like I
sure.
said. So for me personally, um, people have to understand that when you're talking about sorcery, when you're talking about magic, when you're talking about stuff, people don't understand that that shit was real like 5,000 years ago, and it's still here. Do you know how many cults do how many secret factions that's going on right now that
Oh
practice that stuff?
God, endless amounts.
Facts. And so we're dominated by technology and all that stuff, and people don't understand that. Look, bro, this shit is real. Like this is like this is a real. So my thing is that what happened with that was the Watchers, like you said, were showing magic. The Greek gods seeing that too. They didn't like that. In my opinion, this is my opinion from
Right.
when I researched. It may not be true, but this is my opinion. They were thinking that, hey, the Watchers were fighting the Greeks too for control of humanity. Supernatural showed that. So, and then even in the movie Hellboy, Hellboy literally said in that movie, and I know this is a comic, and I'm trying to show you how they put stuff in your face. But he said, I met Raw in the underworld. He's a cool guy. They didn't say hell. Hell is that's a different underworld. That's hell. Underworld is where the duet, you know what I'm saying? That's where, that's where they Egyptian gods go to. And they also mentioned Zeus. So what I'm saying is that the Watchers were fighting Zeus. The Greek gods won. They was allowed to rule. Because if you go by the Bible and you're a hard Christian, you're a Muslim, and you're going by that, then Zeus was still running rampant. How in the world is Zeus running rampant and the Watchers were in prison in chains, right? They said they was under a lake in chains.
Well, they say that they're still under there right now.
Yeah, the
The,
Euphrates.
the Euphrates River.
Yeah. So if they're in the Euphrates River, and then that right there, I don't believe because in demonology books it says Lucifer freed Azazel. And they said Azazel's in hell right now. It's one of the lords. And that's facts. So what I'm saying, it goes back to your point, that information was taken away, so we don't know what's going on. And the Greek gods were powerful, man. And I'm telling you, you can summon Zeus. He's coming back, and they say Zeus is Beelzebub. No, they're two different. Like what the fuck? Beelzebub is flies and the Lord of Flies and decay. Like no, they say Poseidon. They say Poseidon is the god Dagon, the fish god. No, he's not. He's a real god. Poseidon created Atlantis. Atlantis was before Atlantis was Atlantis. Atlantis was watched over the angel of the water like not he was it was an angel of the sea, I guess. And so Rahibi, I can't think of his name, but it was an angel of the sea. Yahweh appointed him to be that. And next thing you know, Cain, the first killer, right? The first killer, Lucifer made Cain go into Atlantis, and there was no such thing as murder, right? People died of natural causes. There was flourishing technology. So Cain ended up doing the first killing. The angel of the sea got so pissed that he destroyed the continent because they was corrupted, and he was fighting back against Lucifer. Yahweh punished him and let him under the sea. I don't know why he did that, but I understood that he didn't want him to sink in the continent. So now the angel was good. I read this in a Wicca book, and I read this from old writings on the dark web. I should have been on the dark web. But anyway, Poseidon seen a continent, and he took it for himself. And that's where you get Atlantis from. That's why when you read all these comics like Aquaman and Namor, they tell you straight up, like Atlantis was not Atlantis before. You know what I'm saying? So my point is that the Greek gods are still here. But the question is that with their worship almost gone, did they turn their worship into other ways? Yes, like Nike. I'm sure she gets power from that. Zeus, Vegas, casinos. You know what I'm saying? So they find other ways. One of my TV shows that I watch, American Gods, tell you that. They try to get worship any way they want. Now, what I'm saying is, if you got to choose sides, do you go with the Greeks? Do you go with Yahweh? Or if Yahweh's not there, do you go with the Greeks? Do you go with Lucifer? Do you go with the Egyptians? What are you choosing? I mean, I'm with Christ, but if he's not there, I'm going with Zeus or my
Well, I
Egyptian.
mean, I'm kind of I approach this with the polytheist, point of view. Uh, First and foremost is always Yahweh and Yeshua. Always. That's
Facts.
first. And if they see fit, if they allow it, I'm going to go with whichever pagan god of the most highest good, of course.
Yep.
I connect with the most, and which I'm already am now. And so, half the battle's over.
Facts. And for me, I'm going with the Egyptian heritage, or I'm going with the Greek gods. And it's crazy. Because I have a movie called The Greeks where we talk about Zeus and Medusa and all that stuff. And where that's going to be connected to my vampire movie Ambrosia. There's never been a movie where you're mixing the two, and the cool thing about it is that the Greeks weren't perfect. You got Athena. Athena made they got like three different versions of the story. One of the stories that she made Medusa hideous because Poseidon raped her.
Hmm.
And she was like, "Why would you do that?" Which is fucked up. Because I'm like, bro, he raped her. Like, he made his ass kicked. And then you need the second one was that she made she made Medusa ugly, so that way she'd never get hurt again. And
Right.
the third story is that Medusa's already a gorgon or a snake-like feature. So like, I think, well, what's your thoughts on that? Cause that shit. I mean, when Homer wrote this shit, he was like, I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, my thoughts. I mean, well, I mean, that's just typical Olympian god behavior. Yeah, and I'm sure, and you've seen the story between Prometheus and Zeus. You know
Oh
that
yeah,
to
he
me
gave him
was
fire. He gave him
yeah,
fire.
and but it was so messed up. You know when I read it, I mean, because Zeus was basically keeping humans from obtaining fire. He just didn't want them to have fire, and they were basically struggling, starving to death, freezing to death, and Prometheus. He looks at them and he says, "You know what? They have so much potential to be something great. This is not fair. I'm going to let them have fire, even if it takes my own life," which it did.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Zeus
he had
chained
a
him
whole
to the mountain,
had an eagle eat his damn liver out every day.
and I mean, of course, it grows back, but still, he relives the torture every single day.
That's worse than death. It's crazy. I would have been like, throw me to Tartarus, bro. Like, fuck that. I just throw me to Tartarus, bro. Let me go ahead and let me just go back to being with my brother Cronus. Shit. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, but that's my point. That's the reason why I'm saying. So if angels don't have that kind of power, that's what I'm saying. Because angels cannot resurrect unless Yahweh gives that. So that's the whole point of this episode is that the Greek gods, Zeus, had unlimited power. He could tie motherfuckers up like this right here, have a bird eat your shit, and it grows back like that. And on top of that, he could take your power away and give it back to you. Like when he took Apollo and Hades' power away, or maybe it was Poseidon. I think it was Hades and Apollo, and he made them build a city and give it back. And he can take your soul to heaven or hell, basically the underworld. They can't. Angels don't have that. I don't give a fuck how powerful it is, because the leader of the Watchers, Samayaza, that's his name. I gotta do my cross. But you see what I did? I got to do this right here, make sure but yeah, and so they can't do that. So the Greek gods never left. They're in your grocery stores. They're on your gambling sites. They're in the NBA. You know, that's the reason why if you look at the damn Pope, they literally have the fucking Greek symbol like that on the head. So it's not satanic. It's not. Now, are some of the Greek gods evil? Of course. It's duality. It's evil, good. Now, will some of them be on Yahweh's side? I don't fucking know. I'm not a god. I guess you can call me Prometheus or some shit. I don't fucking know. But what I would tell you though is that the Greeks never left. And for people that don't understand, is that the Greeks are real. They're not fallen angels. Every time you see something you don't understand it, don't call it demonic. And I think that's the reason why that all these countries are going back to their roots. And I love to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You know,
me too.
I love to see it. And some of them are still keeping the Christian. Most of them are still Christian, but they're saying, look, we know these guys are. I give you a prime example, and I'm gonna wrap the episode up. Native Americans. They are the one of the most beautiful people on earth. You never hear about them unless it's casinos or they just trying to protect their land. They keep quiet. They keep to themselves. They literally said they know who God is. They be like Yahweh, Yahweh. They saying Yahweh, but they telling you that hey, chupacabras are real. Wendigos are definitely freaking real, and
Oh, hell yeah.
they're telling you their Native American gods are real, and that's the reason why they go to the afterlife. But that right there gets two things. They can stay there for eternity, or they can wait to cross over with Yahweh. So if you got one of the most spiritualist people on earth telling you Yahweh is real and that the Native American gods is real, you don't think Zeus and them is real?
Oh, of course.
That's
Of
what I'm
course.
saying. So, you know, And then they found the what was the war? It was when they was the War of Troy where they hid into like a horse or something like that.
Yeah, that
Or
was Troy.
yeah, they found fragments of that horse, and that was supposed to be done by Zeus or Athena. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's evidence. You feel me? So I'm saying, like, the shit is real. So,
It
but
is very real.
so I'm excited to learn more, and and I hope you guys learn more about this right here. We're gonna be diving in episodes every week. Probably do two to one episode per week. Um, I'm your host, one of your hosts, Romeo Pugh, the Horror King, and my guy is Brandon Oakley. You're supposed to say your host.
Oh shoot, I'm sorry, man. Yeah,
So
Brandon
this is
Oakley,
yeah.
host. Yeah.
There you go. So this is episode one of Scary as Fuck out of podcast. When we do it again, we're gonna do one more episode on Facebook, and then the third episode will be on the professional streaming, so you guys can get it. We're gonna upload more stuff to our YouTube channel, which is Cleopatra's Coins, and then I created another channel which is the Horror King Nightmare. So, like I said, let's get ready for it, and guys, we got some merch coming too. Let's get it. Let's go. End of the podcast. We out.
All right.